Real quick, while I had a minute, I just wanted to go over some of the discussion things that I kind of wanted to bring up, and the whole reason why, just the reason why we're here, to kind of create and generate a conversation about things that we enjoy doing. Right, that's what it's all about. That's what all of these channels and all these other feeds are all about. So really kind of going back to where this kind of all started with the Man of Steel, and then Batman v Superman, and then hearing about the struggles behind that went on behind the scenes with that movie being made, and then with it being released. It was just I absolutely loved, especially with the release of the Ultimate Edition, which was just such a huge upstep from the first one. I'm gonna try to condense this. It's a very long story, but we're gonna try to get it. If anyone's ever had this conversation with me, it's easily 2 hours, and barely feel like you're making a dent. So try to go over this as quickly and in as short amount of time as possible. So going into when Justice League was being made, there was a lot of disputes and a lot of changes that were demanded to be made, especially from the studio, from a standpoint of making it a little bit lighter, making it trying to widen the demographic a little bit more to what a Marvel movie was like. And obviously that's just nothing in line with Zack Snyder, with what he was doing. He wasn't trying to copy anything that was already done. He was trying to bring to life a vision that he had, and he ensued. So ultimately, like I said, long story short, what had happened in the family is a complete family tragedy, and I know a lot of us, even myself included, can connect with the with somebody who takes their own life, and just everything that goes behind. And again, there's so much that you can't just kind of gloss over that, but that's kind of the bottom line. There was definitely a family tragedy that had happened, and ultimately the studio kind of used that as the reason for his departure, when in reality it was just ultimately a fight after fight, and trying to stand up for his vision, and then it ultimately was becoming something that wasn't his vision. So it was ultimately a battle that he just chose not to fight anymore. And so with that being said, him stepping down, because it was ultimately going to be a film or a project that wasn't his. And so completely respect, there was that kind of no compromise attitude, and completely gentleman about it, and having the respect to stay with family, and then ultimately having the reshoots be done by Joss Whedon. And now here there was after the release, here we were with this kind of a Frankenstein of a movie, which kind of divided a lot of people, and not in the sense of dividing fans, but just divisive in the sense of is this really what somebody had intended? If it's directed by somebody, you want it to be what they intended, and I don't think that in any part was what Zack Snyder had intended, obviously. And so with the movement, the release, the Snyder Cut movement that then ensued on, and I'm sure if you were anywhere near any Comic-Cons around, the 2018, 2019, there was the release, the Snyder Cut movement, which were, billboards were put up. There was so much marketing that happened for a movie that wasn't even released yet. And then obviously on Twitter and all of these other social media platforms, the release of the Snyder Cut movement was alive and well. And it was being on that journey of not knowing anything to come out of it, but at least pushing for what was right in the mind of having somebody's true work represented, and for a fan base that had been following his work and been, hey, you know what, let's be able to see what he wanted, what he intended. And it's been great to be part of that journey. So all of that being said, that's where we're at. This film has truly created a reaction, in the sense of, really, I mean, it's amazing that this film, this version, this Zack Snyder's Justice League exists, because it shouldn't exist. I mean, it's only because of the fans that really created a demand for it, that it was even a possibility, an opportunity to look into. And so it's for that reason that this movie is made, and it's something that it just kind of rewrites history, the multiverse of movies, and this film is about the multiverse. It's just insane. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it, I highly recommend you watching it. And it's an entirety. The 4 hour it's 4 hours is a crazy run length, but it does not feel like 4 hours. The music, the soundtrack, the scores that's used it is absolutely amazing. Hats off to Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL. The music is just absolutely amazing. It stands out as a character on its own, just like in Man of Steel and BVS. That certainly carries over here, with the soundtrack and the score just being something that sets itself apart and elevates the film to an entire degree, a new degree. I mean, even the scenes that you can recognize from the theatrical run of Justice League, there's that little bit of that Zack Snyder look to him, obviously, and then obviously the music completely. The music makes it feel like an entire separate film in the scenes that are even that carried over, that made it into the theatrical run from Zack Snyder. So again, it's an amazing film. It's an amazing feat in the sense of, because of the fans, because of everyone that carried on a hashtag or just demanded that, hey, we want the release of this film. It's unlike anything that could have happened. Even if Zack Snyder stayed on to finish that 2017 version, it wouldn't have been what we have gotten now. It wouldn't have been the design of the original concept they had for Steppenwolf. It wouldn't have been all of the different kind of scenes that would have been forced to have been cut out because they wanted a 2-hour movie. And when you watch this 4-hour movie, you tell me what can be taken out to make it shorter and still have the impact that it has, with every character, Flash, Cyborg, Aquaman, and the backstory of a lot of characters that are even, I mean, there's so many questions that they leave unanswered, which is so beautiful, because even if we, it's all about now this new movement of, if we can restore the Snyderverse to keep it going. And I know I've been going on and rambling. Hopefully nothing has been repeated, but hopefully you learned something. Again, this is all about generating a conversation, and I want to continue to talk and express more about what Justice League has done, because again, because of this movie, there has been a reaction kind of ignited in a lot of people, myself included, where it's just whatever happens, I'm just happy to be connected with people who enjoy film and enjoy talking about it. So you can follow me on Twitter at C_Hicks. This was the Chicks Flicks, kind of a movie talk right now, and hopefully you're movie fans, and if you are, join in the conversation. Look to hear from you, look to see from you. We'll see you. We'll talk to you. Bye.